Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update for July 16th through to the 23rd. My name is Rebecca Meisl, and if this is your first time joining me, welcome. These energy updates I make for the collective, and this is when I tune into the current energies and energetics of the week ahead and channel any sort of messages from my guides for the collective. So this week we have some beautiful themes coming through for us. And the first theme that came through for us was this theme of abundance. So continuing this theme of last week, we are really being encouraged to continue forward this abundance mindset, our positive affirmations, our positive way of viewing life, and really working with this manifestation energy. And what was so beautiful is, as a result of our positivity, as a result of changing these belief systems that have been stooped in lack or negativity, with us taking this beautiful initiative to change and to reprogram our thoughts. These things have been all for a forward purpose, because I'm really seeing a lot of these things coming to fruition. We're getting a lot of closure. We're getting a lot of beautiful blessings and abundance that are pouring in this week. And this is really showcasing in our finances as well. So I really was hearing a lot of this as I was stooping into this theme this week. So I actually heard money, money, money. Money, money, money. So a great week for finances, a great week to continue that positive mindset when it comes to our careers, to our dreams, and we're letting this abundance flow. So what channeled was dreams coming true, letting the abundance flow, and believe it to receive it. So this was a really key saying that I loved that came through, and it's so true. It really goes to our mindset. It really goes to our beliefs. What do we truly believe around our finances? What do we truly believe about abundance in general? Do we believe we're worthy of it? Do we really believe that good things are coming and that we will be able to receive that? So a lot around this manifestation energy. And we were being really called to just keep moving forward, keep taking forward action. Take those action steps that you're being called to make and surrender and get ready to receive. So I was really getting this energy of this due diligence towards opening up our heart spaces this week, towards opening up our energies and going, okay, I am ready to receive what I've been putting out. I'm ready to materialize these seeds that I've planted. I'm ready to see them bloom. I'm ready for that result. And sometimes we can think we're ready, but this week there's such a huge energy of actually being ready and emulating that vibration. So practice being in that state of receptivity and practice being in that state of abundance. So the biggest things they were suggesting is gratitude this week. Act like you already have it. Give thanks for what you are about to receive. Really emulate that vibration outwards, and then just surrender. Surrender the outcome. Surrender when. Surrender how it's going to come. Just trust it is coming. Trust and act like you already have it. And that's creating this beautiful opportunity for more of this vibration to bounce back. So they're really giving us this amazing positive message to start our week and just to keep moving forward in that abundance mindset, because those results are truly coming in and coming to fruition. So really, really exciting. So the next steps that they were suggesting from this abundance mindset is allowing this space, creating room. So what they kind of showed me visually here was this person before this beautiful pure white box, and when they opened the lid there was nothing inside. And that's what they were kind of showing me, is we've done so much work of clearing and emptying out what we don't need anymore. We're removing the clutter, we're clearing and creating that space. And what was so beautiful is they were showing me that box empty. So a lot of us have been doing that inner work, so much so that our heart space is ready to welcome in new. So depending on where you are in this current time frame with the energies, you might be someone who you still might be retaining onto things. You might be holding on to things that you're ready to just let go. And the current energetics of the week are really supportive in this. So it's like, how can we create that space? How can we create more room and declutter and really get decisive of what we're going to fill our space with, what we're going to fill our heart with, and getting excited for that. So as we create this energetic space, review and revisit. So what I was really getting here is we might have this revisiting happen of things that no longer serve this week. And all it is this awareness. So if these things come up, old pain, old wounds, they're just showing me a lot of like nostalgia. So a lot of things perhaps in the past, maybe some things you still need to grieve over that loss, or even dreams that didn't take shape, and coming to that acceptance of that and coming to this space of awareness that this is coming up for healing and for clearing now, so we can welcome in what's next and what is meant for us. So allow for this energetic clearing, release your hold on what's not working, and let those emotions come forward. We are in Cancer season, and that water element is really predominant here. It's very strong this week. So you might have even been noticing that last week, some emotions being trudged up or brought to the surface, and we need to just surrender to that. We need to let ourselves flow with it, and to not swim against the current, not to fight and struggle with those emotions or suppress them. They're coming up for healing, and we need to really recognize this week. So if you get shocked by some emotions, if things start bubbling up from the past, let that flow, feel it, and we need to feel it to heal it. So I'm really hearing, allow yourself to recognize those emotions and really honor them this week. So moving from there, we have a beautiful theme of nurturing and mothering ourselves. And this really goes perfectly with that theme of feeling it and allowing ourselves to feel how we feel, because a lot of times in those moments, that's when we need love the most, and that's when we need compassion and care the most, and that's where we really need to start stepping in and becoming our own best friend. So what was really coming forward was this self-encouragement and working with the inner child. And what channeled was, you're the adult now. So take your own hand, lead yourself to where you want to go, allow yourself to feel how you feel, nurture and mother yourself like you wanted your parents to, and really allow for that expansiveness this week and that space to allow that healing to really happen. So how can you nurture yourself? How can you show up for yourself and work with that inner child that needs that healing, that needs that love and that compassion? And they're really bringing this forward. This is time to practice what we really believe. And I'm hearing for many of us, we would treat people with so much love and so much tenderness and so much of that mothering quality when they're down and when they're hurt. When we think of how we treat our closest loved ones, that's how we need to start respecting and honoring and treating ourselves. And so they're really telling us we need to practice what we preach this week. And when we're in a low spot, we need to enable ourselves to ask for help if that's what we need, or give ourselves the encouragement and the love in ways that feel good for ourselves. And that's showing up for ourselves the way we want others to. And that in itself is very healing and empowering when we start recognizing that we have that ability, that we can truly meet our needs now. We are the adults. We can do this. And we no longer need to stay in that state where we're feeling alone or we're feeling isolated. So work with that energy this week. Allow yourself to nurture, to have compassion, and encourage yourself to move forward in those areas that you're feeling you need to move forward in. And what's so beautiful about this is this theme of trying to please. So this came in right after this theme of nurturing. And I thought that very interesting because so many of us, especially when we are moving further into ourselves, further into our own empowerment, a lot of times we can have this mistaken view of by doing that, we are letting other people's down. And perhaps we're going to be rocking some boats when we do that because maybe we have a very strong opinion about something. Maybe others aren't as accepting as we wish them to be about who we are. And maybe we have these very strong ideas about how people will react to this new you, to the authentic version of self. And that was really, really coming in. And also this energy of conforming and wanting to do things the way people feel you should. So wherever this is coming in for you, this need to please this week, this is where we need to once again have compassion for ourselves and how we feel, because we've had a lot of conditioning around this. So if you find yourself in that moment of like, my goodness, I feel like I'm letting this person down if I step into me or if I make this decision the way I feel I need to, we might have that grief. We might have that sadness, that hurt. That's what I keep feeling, is this hurt, this wound that's there where it's just like, I wish I could please everyone and I wish I could be enough for everybody. But we're needing to switch this narrative this week to, now this is my opportunity to really please myself, to really move further into my own authenticity. And we're releasing this need to do things the way society dictates, the way our family dictates, the way our relationships and dynamics dictate, and really move into this self-empowerment. But be gentle with yourself through this process. This isn't something we tend to dive into. It's not natural for a lot of us to all of a sudden take our own side. Sometimes this takes years to really start working with, is that energy of self-love and that energy of really coming into your own. It takes time when we've been so programmed to do the opposite, to go along with everything, to please everybody around us. So if you find yourself getting hard on yourself, if you find yourself, degrading yourself because you're not as far as you want to be, or afraid of letting people down, we need to have this awareness. We need to start looking at ourselves through the lens of love and going, that's okay. Treating ourselves like our own best friends. And then what also came through after this was allowing this awareness to come in of how everybody has their journey. And sometimes we want to please others and protect others from certain things in life, or have certain ways of going about life so it doesn't disrupt the peace. But I'm really hearing that we need to let others have their journey. And sometimes that means disruption is going to come in. Sometimes that means they're going to be challenged in relationships and in their belief systems. And that has to be okay, because we can't always be in perfect harmony and in perfect balance with everyone that we come in contact with. And sometimes that means even our own blood relatives or our biggest relationships in our lives, there's going to be those differences. So I'm really hearing for those of you who are struggling with this week, allow yourself to recognize that they are needing to have their human experience, and that sometimes when we step out and step into ourselves, that might disrupt people, that might challenge people's narratives, beliefs, when you are loud and proud about who you are and what you personally stand for. But that being said, maybe that's exactly what these individuals need in their lives. So don't hold yourself back, because I'm really hearing how inspiring it will be for so many people around you who do love and who do accept you. And it's going to be like this ripple effect. And that's what I'm really seeing. It's like this ripple effect of energy that echoes out where it's like, now I'm in my authentic vibration. Now I am being loud and proud about who I am. And that just brings forward your manifestations tenfold. It's amazing. So I'm really seeing this theme be very, very constructive for us this week. And from this energy of no longer trying to please and having this awareness of where we're going to stop editing ourselves and shifting, comes the energy of boundaries and release. So this came through quite strong right after these messages, and it was amazing because it's allowing us to utilize these tools that keep us in our peace, that keep us in our authenticity and within that energy of self-care and self-love. And that tool is those boundaries. So this week you might be finding yourself challenged. You might be challenged by wanting to edit, by wanting to change for others, or wanting to cater to other people and their needs over our own. And we're really needing to hold strong. So this week we're needing to review, what boundaries do I need to put into my life? Where do I need to say no? Where do I need to have these parameters laid out? And what do I need to understand more fully about my needs? So when we start boundaries, a lot of times we will have situations come up in the moment, and we can be caught off guard, and we can find ourselves just caving, going like, oh yeah, okay, don't worry, I'll do it. And then later we end up being in regret. And so what I was really hearing this week is it's important to understand and lay out what boundaries we need to have prior to situations coming up. So really look at repetitive cycles in your life. Where are you constantly overcrossing boundaries? Where do you feel resent? Where do you feel anger or unappreciated? And that's where to start, because those are all indicators of crossed boundaries. So really go into that. Maybe get out your journal, maybe start writing down and brainstorming. Okay, what boundaries am I needing right now? Where do I want to hold strong? If these situations come up repeatedly, how am I going to react? And actually planning for the future when these things and situations come up, and giving yourself that personal integrity and that personal commitment to self that you are not going to cave, okay? And with this comes this awareness of releasing drama. So this was really interesting. A lot of times when we start putting in boundaries, it can stir up drama. People don't like boundaries, especially if they've been used to you bending for them, when they're used to your personality or your reactions of the past and how you've done things previously. So when you first say no and when you first put in these boundaries, there might be this uncomfortability there. There might be this anger even from other individuals that do not like your boundaries, that do not understand. But I'm really hearing is we need to protect our peace. So if family squabbles come up, if drama stirs up with these boundaries that you're putting in, it's important that we drop into the energy of peace and understanding true peace, as opposed to creating and catering and bending in this trying to please others and harmonize in accordance to what others need as opposed to what we need. We're really reevaluating what peace really means, and that means your peace. That means your self-peace. So yes, if possible, of course we want to treat others with respect. Of course we want to treat others with love and compassion and understanding, but we need to also hold true to ourselves. So what came through was make peace, come to peace, and be at peace. All right. So I was really getting this week, if these squabbles come up or even revisit you, this could even be past for you. Maybe these are past things that you will be evaluating that are coming to the surface. And that could very well be with Cancer season. We get a lot of this emotional release. So however this resonates for you, how can you incorporate more peace in your life? And how can you have the self-respect and have the self-love to see your value, to see your worth, and how you deserve to have peace now? So what channeled here was make peace, come to peace, be at peace, Mend the pieces of your broken heart and put them back together. Let life become for you, not just for the comfort of others. So this might actually be heartbreaking for us. This might actually be so hurtful when others do not respond the way we expect them to or we want them to. And it might be very hurtful for us. Maybe we've been feeling unappreciated for a really long time. Maybe we've been feeling like, why can't other people love the way I love? Why can't others show up the way I show up? And that can be really, really hurtful. And so that's what I was hearing, is it's coming back to this wound of not being appreciated and feeling taken advantage of. And so this week we're really needing to work with that wound. And that's what I was really seeing with this broken heart. It's like, do what you can to heal. Let yourself prioritize your peace and let life become for you. So shifting this mentality of going, okay, how can I start seeing this as an awareness of where I need better boundaries and where I need to start shifting, because even if others don't like it, I deserve that. So really coming in here and prioritizing our health and well-being with this. So what dropped in right away was health. Make sure you're prioritizing that. Make sure you're relaxing. Make sure you're rejuvenating yourself, tending to yourself, nurturing with yourself. So what really came through was tender care. Be gentle with yourself. Love your body and let your body lead the way. And keep making conscious choices. So what really came through here is like protecting your mental health and your physical health with this as well. Sometimes we can become so caught up in drama or toxicity, and even if we're not involved in it, if we take that on, it can be really stressful for ourselves. So once again, how can you prioritize your health and really ensure that you are loving yourself up through this period, okay? So from there, we lean into a whole new energy, which was all around sexuality and pleasure, which was so great. And I love how this came up. So what was really coming through for us is embracing our sensuality. Play, flirt, and release that sacral chakra. Let yourself experience the pleasure of life. Deepen your experience and exploration of ecstasy. Taste the ample pleasures and delights of earth, for they are a blessing. So I love this theme so much. So many of us, we withhold pleasure from ourselves. We withhold good from ourselves. And especially when we're going through rough times, it can be really difficult for us to start seeking out pleasure. We might just want to sit in that energy where we're just upset. We have a lot of emotions. But what was really coming through is utilize your sexual expression. Really tend to your body. Really tend to your earthly needs. And what was so beautiful is bringing out this playfulness. So once again, don't get caught up in the drama this week. Allow yourself to come into your experience of earth and this experience of being human. And what was really coming through here in this theme was like, being human is such a blessing in so many ways. Yes, we can have challenges. Yes, things can be hard on earth, but there's also so much beauty to enjoy. So allow yourself to lean into that. Embrace your sexuality. What feels good? What can you do to really enhance your experience and really enjoy the pleasure of life? And I just love how they worded things here. It was like, taste the ample pleasures and delights of earth, for they are a blessing. And it really is. You know, we have such a short amount of time in this incarnation. So how can we make the most of it? How can we prioritize our play, our fun, our sexuality, our sensual side, and really dig deep into what gives us that pleasure? So really prioritize that this week. So from there, we have a theme of releasing pressure. There is no timeline for your dreams. Surrender and allow this phase of manifestation to come to fruition. Stay in gratitude. My cup is full, and watch as it comes. So it was really interesting how this kept being reiterated throughout the reading. This was such a huge theme and it kept coming through. So I really have this feeling of we might start the week in gratitude and maybe we'll taper off and we'll go back into our old ways. And then it's like, no, okay, let's come back. So it's almost like another wave of this energy coming in this week where it's like, relax, release the pressure. And this is really coming through from last week as well, where we're needing to learn the surrender aspect of our dreams, because we might be working hard. We might be doing everything humanly possible to make our dreams come true, and detailed oriented is coming in, nitpicking is coming in, where it's just like, okay, you've done enough, let go. Let the world, let the universe co-create with you. Just stay in gratitude, stay in the blessing, stay in the abundance mindset. So from there we have honor the truth of your heart. What is true? Releasing the lies and the deceptions we've been told about love, ourselves, and reframing our perceptions. So this was so cool. This week we had such a big theme about dropping into love and honoring the love in life. So when we come to our heart space, how can we really connect with that truth? What is the truth in your heart? What is true for you? So what a lot of what I was seeing here was acceptance, releasing the programs, the conditionings around what we need to be loved, what we need to do or produce or create to be loved or to be good enough. And I'm seeing so much of this be reframed this week, and we're releasing the lies. And that's what channeled. They're lies. They're all lies to strip you of your personal power. They're all lies to strip you of unconditional love. And that is so not true. All these things are so not true. You always have been worthy of love. The things that you love to do from that heart space, that is exactly what you should be doing. Coming to this grand acceptance of yourself in every single facet was so highlighted here. So what we are doing right now is really groundbreaking. We are grounding our hearts in love, real love, what real love truly is, and letting love become the foundation of our lives. So what was really coming through is, what are our motivations for life? What are our dreams founded on? What are our current realities founded on? Are they founded on a foundation of fear? Are they founded on a foundation of not good enough? Like, what are those stories that are pushing you and motivating you to move forward in your life? Or is it love? Is it real unconditional love for yourself? So when we think of our dreams and when we think of what we want to continue to do in this lifetime, are we allowing ourselves to move in the direction of our dreams because we love ourselves? Because we want love to be that foundation. And so we're really getting clarity around what is truly in the heart space this week. What needs to be released? What stories have we been telling our heart that aren't true? And how can we start reshaping those stories into belief systems that truly propel us in a loving way? So what channeled was, are our dreams founded in love? What is loving for me now? What is real love to me? And how can I drop more into grace and the energies of love on a daily basis? So absolutely beautiful messages. I almost feel like write these down. If you're someone you've been really feeling your heart space this week coming forward, really write these questions down and go into them. So what channeled next was, what's still coming from force or motivated by conditioning? How can love be our motivation for life? So I love this so much. We really need to start uncovering what real love is, because as human beings, we have been so conditioned to a certain form of love that has conditions to it. So how can we come to the source? How can we come to that real ultimate truth of love in our daily life, and not to just get glimpses of it? How can you walk in love? How can every decision, every choice, everything you do be motivated for love, by love of yourself and by love of others in this world? And what really came through was, if you get nervous, focus on service. Let love lead the way. And this was so beautiful, because so many times we can get really caught up in the confusion of our own lives, where it's like, well, I don't know how to love. I don't know how to create this love foundation. I don't know how to motivate myself through love, when all I've known is self-hate and self-punishment. But we can really learn how to love by giving love as well. And so what really came through was, if you get yourself caught up in this confusion this week, if you're like overwhelmed, if you're overly overwhelmed by emotion, I'm really hearing, utilize that time to help other people. How can I take the focus off of myself for a while and help others who need it? And how can I let myself drop into that love while I'm helping people? And I'm really seeing that this will shift the energies, and a lot of us will gain our clarity that way when we start focusing on, how am I here to serve the world? How am I here to help planet Earth? How am I here to help my fellow man, my fellow sisters, my fellow brothers? All of these different questions we need to start asking ourselves, and taking dedicated action towards those goals. And each time we take an action in love, that ripples out, and it has such profound effect on not just ourselves, but the world around us. So a lot about coming to our personal power this week, a lot about returning to real unconditional love, and letting that really come into our lives in its completeness. So it's absolutely wonderful. We have such an interesting week ahead. Yes, we might have some challenges. Yes, we might have a lot of deep feeling that we will be going through, deep emotions that we will be exploring, but it's all so good for us, and it's allowing us to truly deepen our experience as human beings, and dropping to the acceptance of being a human being and loving ourselves through every single part of that experience. You know, so many people, we struggle with acceptance of our human condition, acceptance of our mistakes, acceptance of others and their mistakes against us. And what really comes through this week is we're dropping into this full understanding, where it's like, okay, maybe I'm not perfect, and maybe I'm not meant to be. Maybe I'm supposed to just love myself where I am, wherever I am in this journey, and recognize that I am completely enough. And that, yes, I will keep changing my foundations for life. Yes, I will keep making forward movement towards my dreams. But I can trust that I am worthy just where I am, that I am deserving just where I am. And I am awaiting a beautiful, marvelous, abundant life, because that's what I deserve. So my friends, that's all I have for us this week. I really hope you enjoyed this week's reading. If you did, let me know. I love hearing your comments. And I apologize for this reading coming a little bit late, but thank you for your patience, and I hope it really helps you as you traverse these new energies this week. So I'm sending you all so much love and light, my friends. If you haven't heard already, I've also written a book, and some of these themes really tie into what I've written about in my memoir, Reclaiming Me. So if that interests you, I will be leaving the link below where you can access it. It's now available for purchase, and for the next 3 days, it's free on Kindle. So you can actually download the ebook for completely free. And so please take advantage of this if you're interested. So my friends, sending you lots of love and light. Have a beautiful and blessed week. Bye.